My friend made me pay for everything at her wedding, all the while talking bad behind my back.
Yeah, it's like she did pay for this, but she smelled bad.
She didn't pay enough of it. I was asked to be maid of honor by a friend of mine who I've had a rocky past with. She doesn't really have anyone close in her life that lasts longer than a few years. And she also changes jobs every few months because she is high conflict and causes drama constantly. She thrives off of it. By the way, this comes from Schmeg the Meg, and you can submit your stories at r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, in hindsight, I should have said no, especially knowing this was her and the groom's third engagement, so off and on. But I agreed and took everything so seriously. Bridezilla was an understatement. She changed the members of the bridal party 5 times, so I had to constantly track down new people. Her bridal shower had to be this one very specific country club that was extremely expensive. She changed the date of the actual wedding and forgot to tell me for months. And it was on a Friday, so I had to request off work. Nothing I bought was good enough, and she always requested more. She changed my dress color after I bought it. She also just stopped talking to me unless it was about the wedding and had no idea what was going on in my personal life. I paid for just about everything because the people she kept inviting in the bridal party were younger than us. Early 20s. I'm 27. The bride is 33 and has no stable income. I have a good job and I'm really smart with my money, but even for me, it was really difficult. I'm talking about $6,000 on this dang wedding as maid of honor. I'm trying to plan my own soon as well. Well, the day of the wedding comes. I make sure she had a bunch of custom gifts, a day off bag, my speech was beautiful, etc. But she was so rude to me the entire day. She has a new BFF she met about 4 months before the wedding, and they are attached at the hip, and all she wanted to do was talk to her. But whatever. I was super busy handling everything, so I tried to ignore it. Riley, who's the a-hole here?
Dude, OP.
Who's the a-hole here?
OP. Come on.
The wedding comes and goes. She leaves to go to the after party with her new BFF, and I stayed behind to clean up the entire venue with the help of my boyfriend after, and we go home. Well, I get a call today from her cousin who was also in the wedding party, who I really bonded with over this awful experience. She told me that she didn't want to say anything to me, but she thinks I deserve to know because I'm already buying Christmas gifts for the bride and her kids.
Whoa.
Her cousin tells me that every time I left the bridal suite the day of the wedding, the bride would announce to everyone in the room that she couldn't stand me. I wish she weren't even here. I'm so effing annoying. She also has a separate group chat with her sisters and cousins and continues to talk crap on me there. Mind you, she just sent me a Christmas list for her kids last week. Everything's already bought and wrapped. I feel so hurt and so used, and honestly really stupid. I just blocked her on everything. I don't want to even message her because I know she'll somehow twist it around and make it my fault. Edit to add. I'm seeing a lot of comments saying this is on me for missing/ignoring red flags, and I 100% agree. I should have gone more into the backstory, but it's super complicated and long, so I left it out. I used to be the stepmother of her oldest son. So, her ex is also my ex, and he's a huge piece of crap. But that's a story for another day. And I'm extremely bonded to the kiddo. I was in his life from 9 months old, and she's allowed me to be involved in his life for the past 4+ years.
Yeah, because you keep buying stuff for him.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe she doesn't like you. Maybe she likes using you, obviously.
Yep.
Even after I left the relationship. He's 7 now. So a huge part of me feels this immense, incredible debt to her. And I will always appreciate her keeping me in her son's life. She didn't have to do that. But as my friend, kids aside, she's incredibly selfish and toxic. I should have made better boundaries and kept my guard up. But wow, that's easier said than done when kids are involved. Edit to add number 2. I also meant that I spent $6,000 on the bridal shower /bachelorette /gifts, etc. I did not pay for the actual wedding venue itself, but $6,000 of my own money still for wedding related things. And to add 3, I appreciate everyone's advice. I was more or less venting on this post. I know I'm not blameless in this and definitely let it drag on too long because I was/am scared that once I upset Bridezilla, I lose access to being part of her children's lives. However, I agree that it's not healthy for me to continue to be in contact with her, and her children are better off seeing me being used as a doormat by their mother. I blocked her number and I do not plan on interacting with her ever again. Time to just move on and focus on my own healing for once. We have an update.
I'm so glad you realized that.
It took the entire internet to tell you.
Yeah, I was wondering why she didn't like you, but that makes more sense. How'd you get wrapped up into this?
I really think she did what I said earlier because you did something with her ex, all that stickiness, literally, she's making you pay for everything.
Yeah.
And you don't owe this woman a nickel.
Don't. You really don't, OP.
Update. Hi everyone. This post definitely blew up more than I was expecting, so I wanted to give a quick update. After this happened, a few things that some of you said to me really stuck with me. I was looking at all this from the perspective of not wanting to lose access to the children of the bride, who I love deeply. But I was not realizing that by allowing their mother to treat me poorly, that I was modeling for the kids how to treat their own loved ones. That really was a light bulb moment for me, and I realized I needed to cut ties. I initially told her that I needed space from her because of the way she has treated me as a friend, which she did not take well. And I had to block her number and delete her off social media to stop her from berating me with text. Once I did that, it was insane how much better I felt. I truly didn't realize how much time and energy she took out of me every single day. I felt like a literal weight was lifted from my chest, and I wasn't filled with anxiety about whatever drama she constantly call/text me about. I had no idea how much she had slowly taken from me across the course of our friendship. It was like being free of an emotional vampire. However, despite feeling so much better, I still felt that I needed closure regarding the kids, who I do love and miss. I need to know in my heart that I did everything I could for them to know none of this is their fault. I decided to drop off the presents I already bought at their front doorstep and left a note letting her know that I was informed she spoke poorly about me in front of her children during the wedding day, and that I simply cannot accept that disrespect anymore.
There we go, OP. There we go. All right. I like this.
Good.
I like this.
It was very short and sweet, and I didn't go into much more detail than that. I also told her I had no interest in rekindling any type of friendship, that this was my closure, and I do not want her to contact me any further. Apparently, she immediately took to social media and began making dozens of posts, TikTok videos, denying everything, as well as involving the kids in the videos. Opie says it's so sad. Trash talking me and calling me a narcissist, which is laughable, honestly, and it's her go-to insult for anyone who wrongs her. I had friends send me a few in disbelief, and while I appreciated being informed, I asked them not to send me any more because I really don't care. And I don't want to give her the satisfaction of knowing I saw any of them. And by the way, you can have the satisfaction of listening to us on our podcast. Just look us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Search OK Storytime and you can find stories just like this. Heck, we just added another one.
We did. And very nice of you to give the gifts, the kids.
You didn't need to do that.
Let them know they're not a part of this.
No.
Confronting her. Ooh-wee.
Do you think she told the kids? Because she didn't give it to the kids. The mom probably got the gifts and was like, oh, she gave us the gifts. And then she read the letters like, no, the gifts are yours.
I'd probably try to keep the kids out of it.
I mean, she tried to.
I still love them.
She tried to.
But hey, they'll realize one day.
You did all you could, OP. Yeah. But the best thing you can do is just get away from this monster. Honestly, I just feel so bad for the kids, and I feel nothing but pity for their mother. How sad to be 33 years old, and instead of spending time on Christmas morning with your children, you're making TikTok videos to try and upset me and failing at it. Anyway, that's my update. I'm glad to finally put all this behind me. I feel like I've closed that chapter of such a chaotic and drama-filled portion of my life. If any of you are dealing with a person like this in your lives, get out. Life is so much better without them in it to drag you down. Yep. I promise you. And that's the end of that story.
That story, dang. Good for you, OP. I'm glad you realized that. And we're a beacon of hope for others in this situation.
Yeah, you can love from afar.
Yep.
You don't need to deal with that anymore.
That's right. And we got another story for you guys.